Yeah, we had a lot of shit talk going on before this, so.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. So, anyway.
Fuck what he talking about. So.
My God, bro.
Pull a slime on his ass.
God, bro. All right, so anyway, we did go to the Independence Bowl, but before we left, bro, I was like, oh man, it's bad. First, it started with constipation. I was like, man, I can't shit. I want to shit.
Yeah.
I can't. So I was like, 20 minutes. I'm like, I'm not getting any better, and I know I'm not gonna shit anyway. So let's go, right? We get like down the street, and I was like, we gotta go back. We gotta go back. So we pulled into a gas station. I got some medicine, right? And then I got like a apple juice. Apple juice always makes me want to go for some reason.
Nice.
So I drive back. I sit around for like 20 minutes, right? I'm like, all right, cool. I think I'll be good, right? I took 2 high-strength Tums and Pepto, right? Then on the way there, I was like, all right, we're ready to go, right? On the way there, I start feeling tingly in my fingers, right? And I'm like, oh man, this ain't good. This ain't good, right? And then I start sweating. And we get to the entrance of the Independence Bowl, and there's a fucking line, right, of cars. And I'm sitting there, bro, I'm pulling this.
Toes curl.
I'm going, you know, like, you're like, bro, you're moving, you're just like, I got the AC seats on, I'm like I'm trying to,
Colon
yeah,
cancer.
bro, so bad, bro, yeah, I'm feeling it, like it's hurting, you know, I'm like, oh my God. So we get in, and he's like, man, are you gonna be good? Are you gonna be good? And I'm like, man, we just need to find a bathroom. So we get in there, and I go to the bathroom, and I'm like, I throw his ticket. I'm like, bro, just go. Leave me. Like
Go without me.
Yeah, leave behind me.
Get us in.
I'm not worth saving, bro. So like, we finally go in, and I felt great for like 30 minutes. I saw halftime, and then watched a little bit of the third quarter, and I was like, nah, bro, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Yeah. Because I kept waiting in bathrooms, and I was like, nah, this ain't it. Like,
You didn't have to shit before. I think Louisiana Tech's poor performance just brought it all out in you, didn't it?
yeah, it gave me the runs after that too. Yeah.
Sounds like the 3 deadly shits that you were faced with.
I mean, that's one of my biggest fears is shitting in public, dude. Like, I'll do it when I have to, but dude, I'm just like, anything I can do to avoid shitting in public, bro. Even here, I didn't want to shit here until I got comfortable here. Like, I just don't like shitting.
Shot pooper.
Yeah, man, it's just like, because when I shit, it's an event, right? Like,
Shirt off.
Look, no, seriously.
Really
before, it shouldn't be. But before I went to the bathroom earlier, I was making sure I had my stuff before I went to the bathroom, right? You can't go to the bathroom empty-handed, right?
Of course.
Right. Thank you. And
Yeah, that is psycho behavior.
I'm like going into the bathroom. I'm like, oh, I don't have my Zins and I don't have my phone. Came back
both
in,
of those.
Like a caveman.
popped the Zin in, grabbed my phone. I was like, all right, we're ready to shit. And I sat there for however long and did my thing. And I wouldn't say shy. I would just say it's like I want to enjoy it.
I would call it shy.
I don't.
Yeah, I would call
I
it
mean,
shy.
I don't want to go somewhere and not enjoy it, right? Like, it's not. I want to enjoy it. That's it.
You enjoy it.
I feel like if
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
as soon
It was
as
great.
you deprive me of the ability to shit, I have to shit so much worse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's awful. And I was convinced after that night, because I was like, maybe I just had a stomach bug or something like that, whatever. So to supplement the Zins, quitting Zins, I got on caffeine really heavy. And I first started with the grinds, like deal.
The coffee
Yeah.
gotchas.
And then I went from those to the LF Goes, the Let's Fucking Goes. And those are 200 milligrams a pouch.
Fucking
They're
shit.
crazy,
Jesus.
right? And I was just popping them bitches. bro. Yeah, dude.
Do that again?
So, by the Patreon.
By the Patriot.
So, I think I gave myself, like, IBS. Like, irritable bowel syndrome. Like, from the amount of caffeine.
That's
Okay.
cultural appropriation as someone that suffers with IBS. There's no laughing matter.
My bad.
No, you're good.
So how bad is it for you? What's been your 911 emergency?
Well, you're just talking about having to go back to the days of the caveman, no phone. Rookie mistake. I was at a buddy's house, I think over Thanksgiving. My phone was hooked up to aux playing music, so I went to the restroom just thinking it was going to be quick pump and dump.
Yeah.
Boy, was I wrong. All he had was
When you mistake the shit.
brother. All he had was a magazine of, I think, Home and Garden. I think I made 15 pages, strumming through that bad boy. Yeah, and 25 minutes later I was out. But yeah, you get a couple knocks on the door. You okay? Everything all right? No, it's not.
Yeah. And it'll be okay if you leave me alone. Like, just
Eventually,
let me do my thing.
So it's brutal.
Yes.
A lot of Tums, a lot of Pepto Bismol, but
Yeah.
I cannot go.
I'm a survivor.
I think I do have IBS for real though. Like not even trying to appropriate because it's been dealing with it for a while, bro.
You know what? I don't mean to cut you off, but boys, I think I'm ready to start my own movement for IBS.
Okay.
The women had theirs with me too.
Yeah.
For me, it's me poo.
Hashtag me poo.
Can we create a revolution?
I'll support that, bro.
Can we?
Hashtag me poo.
It's
we
going
look
on the
up-
screen right now as
There we
we
go.
speak.
There we
And
go.
yeah, we'll put the Cash App for donations right underneath it.
Greatly appreciated.
Anybody but your cash app.
Yeah, it's my
Yeah,
Cash
not
App.
your Cash App,
Cam's
absolutely.
Recording Studio, Cash App, yeah.
So-
Anyways, let's quit talking about shit, huh? How about that? What you about to say?
So real quick, I was gonna hop in and actually change the subject to our guest here. So, I don't think we got your name for the camera.
Yep.
And then a little bit about what you do and where you're from.
100%. My name is Ed Wilson. I work in banking here in Shreveport. Been here about 3.5 years now. From Monroe originally, right down the interstate. Unfortunately, a Tech Bulldog. My sports teams have not been making me a proud alum as of late. But yeah, past that, man. Loving the Shreveport Bossier area. Been here 3.5, 4 years. I think I'm going to make it home. So here for the long haul. So
Sweet.
We're loving it.
That's awesome,
Yep.
dude. That's awesome.
yeah. Yep.
So what kind of in banking? There's a lot of different
Oh, dude.
areas in finance. What's your specialty?
It's like an ice cream store. You got all your different flavors. So I work with municipalities. I'm the public funds manager for my bank. So that could be school board, city, sheriff's department, anything within a public space at our bank. I'm the officer of it. So yeah, just managing their money. I kind of call myself a Swiss Army knife at times. From anything from deposits to investments. Just trying to provide my clients with good fiscal advice, lead them, down the best road they can take on. So.
Well, starting the day after tomorrow, our taxes are going up. So I hope you manage it well.
Yeah. So I can't speak to all my clients, but I do deal within that space. A lot of the tax money is coming in. And we'll be going out. I know the assessor's office just got all their money, have dished it out to the sheriff. So, yeah, let's hope our tax dollars are going to good use this year, boys.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Guess we'll find
I
out.
think we're pointing in the right direction. I'm happy some of the changes I've seen. So,
Where is the state putting their money right now?
I mean, I think I was naive, just even at the base city level, how deeply rooted the politics can run in a city. Obviously, a city like Shreveport Bossier, deep roots, long-standing ties with families that have been here for, frankly, generations. The politics run deep. There's certain things people might view as unfair. On another side, fair. It's literally a game. And the people that are playing it, they're gonna play it how they see fit. So
Right.
part of it.
What amount of chips did you give me?
I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. It's just red.
Doesn't matter, right? Because they're all.
Yeah, they're
all
the same value.
Yeah,
Is that how we're playing
so that is exactly how we're gonna play it. It's gonna be two chip buy-in. If you want to raise it up by 2. So
So what did we decide that we're gonna play today? We're gonna do Texas Hold'em.
we're gonna do Texas Hold'em, and a little bit of a note. This is gonna be John Holland's first time playing Texas Hold'em, so we're gonna give him a little cheat sheet, and we're not gonna be really playing. I guess like very competitively because we're gonna be stopping and kind of showing you some different things, some hands that might be unique. But I think first off we should deal them maybe face up, run through a few rounds.
That's fair.
If you want to do that, and then
And when you say face up, you're talking about the dealer's cards? Because wouldn't we automatically get our cards face up?
great question. So dealer is in Texas Hold'em it usually changes, right? When you're playing with a group, right?
Okay.
So I'll be the dealer, I'll deal, and then he'll deal. And the way I like to play it and how I played it my entire life was the first out, whoever's out of chips, becomes main dealer,
Okay.
right?
Fair enough.
So
that'll be me.
when we deal, always to the left, right? And we're going to deal them face up. So usually it would be face down, right? Because we're playing our own individual hands, not with each other.
Okay.
Okay. So 1, 2. Goddamn.
Pocket rockets.
For real.
First time dealing?
2. These are slick, dickhead. That's it. I'm not teaching you. So,
Royal flush, I win.
yeah. So, okay, when you deal, right, after you get them all out, there's always a burn, right? And then you do 3. Burn, 1, burn, 1. Okay? Then, when the pot's right, which it's 2 to play. Don't squash the pot.
I did not mean for that to happen.
Alright.
It was supposed to be a lot cooler and smoother than that.
After we're all good, right, we flip the first 3. Okay?
Beautiful.
The way you go to round is obviously he would be bet first, right, because he's left to me,
Okay.
right? Left to the dealer always bets first. He is going to bet, well, I would hope, right? So the thing is with this, let's look around real quick. So 3, 4, 4, 5, 8 jack, 2 aces. He's obviously winning, but this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to pair up a few things, right? So I have a potential to straight, right? Straight means 3, 4, 5, 6, right? I need 5 cards, right? I need 5 cards from my hand and up here to be able to play,
Okay.
right? 3, 4 right now, I have nothing. You also want to look at the suit, right? So you also need 5 of the same suit in order to get a flush, okay?
Okay.
And you're going to pick this up as we go. I know it's a lot right
Yeah.
now. But say I've got a heart, right? There's 2 hearts out there. I need 3 more hearts to get a flush. Make sense?
Okay.
So over here, 4, 5, 6, he has potential for a straight. You have potential for a straight. You could do 9, 10, jack, queen. That's something that you could do as well. 8, 9, 10, jack, queen. So he bet 2. Do you play?
So if I didn't bet, would that mean I'm just saying
You're folding.
I'm
You're folding, yeah.
Folding. Okay.
Yep, you're going to fold.
So just for the fuck of it, we're just
Okay.
gonna play.
Say
Yeah.
2.
So yeah, I would love if these were suited, because obviously I'm chasing the straight, but I could have the flush potential if these were, say, both diamonds. The board's not looking like it, but if there were diamonds.
His flush dreams are gone.
Exactly.
So are mine.
Yeah, with 3 already being readily available. For the love of the game,
Yeah,
we'll see it through.
I wouldn't bet on this.
Yeah,
but
me
we're
neither.
just going through it.
Yeah.
So we flip 1 card after that. Now we got 2 6s on the board. Interesting thing about Texas Hold'em. Okay, the top 5 cards anywhere on the table play. Okay, so let's say, for the hell of it, let's say a third 6 comes out.
Okay.
Right? If there's trip 6s, right, he still wins, okay? Because he's got a boat, a full house. A full house is whenever you have a pair of something and a 3 pair of something,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
So 3 6s, 2 aces, that makes a full house.
So it
very
wouldn't-
hard to beat.
And it wouldn't be that way if it was only 2 6s and the 2 aces. That it wouldn't count. It would be 3. It has to be a 3 pair and a 2.
Correct.
Okay.
Here's what's even more fucked up about this game. Let's say this is a 6 and this is a 6. We have 4 6s on the board.
Okay.
Right? Does not matter that he has 2 aces because 4 6s plays. Only the highest of the 5th card plays after that. He would probably still win because he's got an ace,
Exactly.
right? But that would be the only one that plays. So keep that in mind. Only the top 5 cards on the thing, the highest cards play for you to win. So let's flip this
Okay.
for the fuck of it. You've got jacks
Second
Okay.
highest pair. Yeah.
on the river. This is what we call
To
it.
speak of, that's also kind of where I started to learn how to win. Was I just knew I wanted shit. On Red Dead, I always wanted shit to match up, just to I knew if things matched, I had a higher probability of winning.
So with aces are obviously the highest value, but they also count as 1. So say you're trying to build a straight, so you could have, he's missing the 2, but an ace, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be the straight.
Okay.
From the downward spot.
Gotcha.
Or
Oh, I see what
vice
you're
versa,
saying.
the ace, you can have ace, king, queen, jack, 10.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like a double side.
It kind of works like 1 and
Sword.
11. like-
Exactly.
okay.
So you know in blackjack,
Yeah,
right?
1 and
That's 1 and
11.
11. Your 11 is jack.
Okay.
Okay. Your queen is 12. Your king is 13. Your ace can also be 14 or be 1.
Okay, so it's 14 or 1. So, because it.
Yes.
Okay, I
Because-
see how that works.
Because it's the highest card or it can be the lowest
Because
card.
each, instead of like blackjack, jacks, queens, and kings are the same value. In this, they all have different values.
Yes, and
Okay.
you don't have to pick what your ace is. If you have 2 aces like this, right? Let's say that there was a run of 9, 10, jack, queen, king on there. Well, 10, jack, queen. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He can play this as the highest card, but if there was 2 through 6 up there, he can play this as the lowest card.
Gotcha.
You don't have to choose.
Okay.
Right? They play as both.
Okay.
Um,
I'm getting a general understanding.
Yeah.
It's still confusing. I'm not gonna just get this off.
Pick it up
rip,
as you go.
but
Yeah.
You
one
do.
hand.
Let me ask you this: what do you think won this hand?
This hand?
Yeah.
Sixes and nines. I would say either me or you, because I have the matching jacks, and then
There you go. So
the
y'all both
aces
have
are larger than jacks.
aces are
so
larger
he
than
wins.
jacks, so I win.
okay.
So you see like the possibility of like I could have 2 of the same card, but you could have 1 card matching. Like say you had that ace and that ace is there, and I had these 2 jacks.
Okay.
Now you
would
win
You see what I'm saying?
because you've got 2 aces on the board.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
The best 2 cards you could possibly see off the rip is 2 aces.
2 aces. Yeah.
Okay.
Pocket rockets.
So that
yeah.
was the best
Yeah,
hand.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
The best. Yeah.
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 Wasn't
But
expecting it. Hate that.
but if he gets a straight or anything else, it beats those 2 aces.
Exactly.
Okay, so you had these aces. Now let's say, which I don't think it matters, but whichever one. So, say I had 2 jacks, say that this was another jack, say I had 2 of them, and we had that jack on the table, he still wins, even though I have that match.
Nope. If you had 2 jacks right now, like if
Yeah.
you're saying your 8 was a jack,
Yeah,
you would have 3 pair.
It'd
You'd
be
win.
trips.
3
so
pair. Okay.
You can see where trips will
It's
fall.
trips, bitch.
3 of a kind.
Sorry.
My password's 828280. Don't clip that.
I'll cut
And
it out.
rob me.
I'll cut it out. I'll cut it out. But yeah, because it keeps cutting off. What?
His
82,
Apple
82?
email is
Jason Witten times 3.
Okay, beautiful. I love Jason Witten, man. Cowboys fan, huh?
Yeah, that's mine. Yep.
unfucking.
Sorry to hear that.
Yep.
Back in the day, I used to be a weird anomaly of a Saints and Cowboys fan.
So
Back in the Romo days when they had Romo, Dez, who
Yep.
did catch it,
Des Bryant, yep.
DeMarco Murray,
Yeah.
the boys,
Yeah.
as they were. But
The
I'm-
trio. They had the trio going
who
on.
that till my
What up,
death.
Yeah,
to the-
I'm in the same boat because my family is all from
Oh, sure,
Louisiana,
That's fine.
and I was the anomaly that was not born in Louisiana. So all of my family is Saints fans, but I wasn't born in Texas, but that's where I spent most of my life at. So I was closest to Arlington.
Let's do one
Dallas
more.
was just,
That makes sense.
I mean, it was just the closest
So,
team.
and then we'll-
So that's who I rooted for, but I don't like to claim a Saints fan because I just don't like the bandwagon thing being attached to me. But
you don't think the bandwagon exists for?
Oh,
Cowboys?
brother, if you want to be a Saints fan,
no, because
now's the time to
I've
be
been
one.
Cowboys. I'm a Cowboys fan even when we lose. So a bandwagon would be somebody who jumped off our team this year because we're out of the playoffs.
Okay.
So I still support the Cowboys no matter how fucking bad we are. I still support them. That's just my team that I like to watch.
Too much.
But I'll still like when the Cowboys fall out. If the Saints were still in, but they're not, I would root for the Saints. I would just say, yeah, let's go Saints. Like in the year that they went in against the Colts, I think in the Super Bowl, I rooted for the Saints.
There
That
you
was
go.
not too
If
long
one's
ago.
out, yeah.
Yeah,
That
See, I
was
was a
our
Colts
last
fan.
Super Bowl run.
you're a Colts fan.
I was Manning.
You bandwagoned over to
How's
him.
that Tracy Porter interception feel?
So my thing is,
Oh, we got fireworks.
Gunshots and fireworks.
Ooh.
Hey, if we get a fireworks show, I'll let y'all get a little piece of it. I don't think we can see anything. We got too many fucking buildings over here. Were you answering this question?
No, I was just a Manning fan for the
Yeah.
longest,
Oh,
and then obviously jumped over to the Broncos, and then, but only because my dad was for forever.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think my dad was always watching the Cowboys when we lived in Texas, and that was part of the reason why it was just Cowboys.
I got a bone to pick with this city. There are so
So do we.
many Dallas Cowboys fans in Shreveport Bossier. I get their argument from what I've heard is proximity to Dallas. We're closer to Dallas Fort Worth than we are
I'd
to
say
New
that's the
Orleans.
main thing.
But it's home state is the way I look at it. You know, ride with the
You
state
don't even have to
team.
bet.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I was
We
from
don't even have to bet.
I feel like if I was from Louisiana, I would be a Saints fan.
True.
Like that's just how it would have worked out based off of how I worked with the Cowboys. But I think the biggest thing is just because it's America's team. No matter how much people hate, no matter how much people hate that it's America's team, that is the label, and I feel like that.
Why is that the label? Why did that come?
I think
The
it's
90s.
because the 90s, but also I want to say that they are. I was talking with somebody else about this the other day. They're the richest as far as something goes.
Ownership and
Yeah, like
Yeah.
there's just a lot of money in the Cowboys to be shit.
believe it or not, Jerry Jones used to be him when it came to running, organizing, and proliferating a professional NFL team. He was quite literally him back in the day. Multiple championships, some back and forth discord about how he treated his head coaches at the time. But the results speak for themselves.
Right.
Multiple rings out of it. Now, he's gone up there in age. His succession isn't exactly pinpointed out, but, back in the day,
yeah,
different story.
everybody has their run though, and at some point you got to hang it up. So.
Yeah, and know when to.
We're just
yeah.
waiting on that point now. So
Yeah.
All right, we're doing this for you. So
Let's
take
do
a
it.
look at everybody. We're not gonna baby you on this one.
Okay,
I'm just gonna flip them. Okay.
I'll just say it looks like you have a good hand, and it looks like he has a good hand with a 9 and 10.
Very
Yep.
good.
Very good.
Yep.
Okay,
My boy's
Nice.
wicked smart.
it looks like you have a
Yes.
wicked hand at this point.
Love that.
I think it looks like right now you have the best hand. Would I be right or wrong?
You would be right. Okay, but he's coming up on a straight really quickly.
So-
9, 10, Jack, Queen.
If you got a king on the next, or on one of these two,
He gets a straight.
or what about an 8? Would an 8 work in the same way and make it 8, 9,
Yes,
10?
it would.
Okay.
So he's looking for an 8 or a king. So he's
Okay.
betting the fuck out of me right now.
Mm.
I'm looking at the board and going, no one's got anything higher than what I've got.
I'm like,
Okay.
shit.
So we're betting the fuck
He's
out of
looking
each
for a
other.
lineup,
See?
and you just have a high. Okay.
You guys are gonna fold because you're gonna go.
See, that's your thought. The degenerate in me.
Ace, ace.
The degenerate in me reminisces to a great poet, in the words of Young Dolph, talking about fucking them on the river. I could very well do that. The straight potential is there.
Love that.
Who's to
Yeah.
say it's not? So we'll
Yeah, you're
see.
right, you're right.
The odds are not in my favor, but
All right.
Yeah,
See what we got. Finger a little bit. Okay.
Now he's
Yeah.
creaming his pants over here because he's like,
yeah. Fuck,
Okay.
I need
But
one
also-
more. I need a 2.
So
Right
it's-
now-
you're looking for a 2. Okay.
Yep.
I've already got a flush.
yeah, he does.
Flush is.
He's got
Same
For the
eyes,
straight
same face.
beats and
Same face.
hold them.
He could get a straight flush
I could.
Yeah.
and drop his nuts on the table and be like, "Fucking pay me."
I'd consider it.
Yeah.
Please don't. Anyways. All right.
I would not judge.
So currently, he's winning by a long shot.
Yeah.
No one's even close.
Okay.
And yeah, flush.
Yeah.
And then at this moment, I would do this and
Yeah.
take all the chips.
Okay.
For the second time, by the way. Yeah.
Hey,
And let me pull up my cheat sheet real quick. Sorry, guys. So, Flush was. Is it the same?
Y'all gotta remind me. I play
Okay.
too much 3-card
Okay,
poker.
got you.
And hold'em, what's better, a straight or a flush?
A straight.
Straight beats a
I'm pretty
flush.
sure.
Yeah,
and hold'em?
yeah,
Okay.
straight.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. You want to play cards down
Yeah,
now?
cards
yeah,
down.
cards,
All right.
please.
Like I said, my boy's wicked smart. He's
Wicked
gonna catch
smart. I got a number.
gonna-
How do you like them apples?
on. I'd never seen Goodwill Hunting until 6 months ago.
Really?
Crazy.
It's funny you say that because my wife had never seen Goodwill Hunting, and I showed it to her, and she was like, "So
Like, such a
I don't
good
wanna
movie."
watch it," and
Yeah.
then she fell in love with it.
Yeah. It's just a feel-good movie.
It's
you
a
know?
great movie, man.
R.I.P. Robin Williams. You know?
Yeah.
For real,
One
dude.
of the
Every
best.
movie he's in, I'm like
Yeah.
glued.
Speaking of Robin Williams, I think one of the most touching tributes they could have ever done to a man like that. I just got back from San Francisco. My brother was working down there, Silicon Valley, for Lockheed Martin. But we went and hiked the redwoods one day, and there's this tunnel. So coming from the Muir Woods, going back into the city of San Francisco, it's this tunnel named the Robin Williams Tunnel that you go into. It's about less than a quarter of a mile. But when you get out, it's the Golden Gate Bridge, the bay, the city, the way the sun was shining at a certain angle in that daylight. It was just like the most beautiful, picturesque kind of thing. Like a Windows backdrop.
Yeah.
That beautiful. But I think, how fitting of a memorial.
That's
to
so
someone
cool.
Like that,
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I would love. It's one thing to have like a fucking bridge named after you, but if it's a nasty ass trolley bridge
right.
that you're like,
Yeah.
okay, bro, like thanks,
Yeah, it's the
But-
tunnel.
Hey,
Let's
thanks,
go.
guys.
yeah. But a tunnel with a beautiful view like
Wanna do
that, that'd be
100%.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Trying to do it. Let me face down.
All right, first day on the job, guys. Take it easy on me, all right?
Put them on the boat already. Come on. They're hiring.
All right, so burn.
3.
Yeah.
1, 2. Hey, let me take off my fucking training wheels, all right?
He just said it's your first day on the job.
It is my
I'm
first day on the
helping
job. I need the help.
He's got it. He's got it.
Thank
That's
you.
right.
All right.
Beautiful. That's it.
Nice,
Boy.
nice,
There you go.
nice,
Just set
nice.
those up to the side.
Nope.
And all right.
All right, guys.
See what we got over here?
Two chip buy-in, man.
Oh, my. Oop. Was I not supposed to look at it yet? My bad.
No, go ahead.
No, you can.
The way I always put the chips in front of me just so we know where everyone's at.
Okay.
To each their own.
Yeah, I was gonna say because y'all started betting before it looked like y'all looked at y'all's car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Y'all just slick with it. All right.
buy-in, bro.
I'll fucking learn how to do this shit. I'm about to bullshit the hell out of all of y'all. All right.
we're all in.
Ready to flip?
Yep,
Yeah.
Okay. Does it matter which way I go from?
it's whatever the dealer's choice.
Beautiful.
I will say I have lost the most money in poker playing against people who have never played before because
Yep.
their genuine poker face is just disbelief.
Because they don't know what the fuck they're
Disknowledge,
doing.
yeah. Confusion.
It's gonna be
everything
me
in
over here with the
between.
world flush, and I'm just like, oh, man, I don't know.
Looking at your cheat sheet. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Ooh. All right.
All right, yeah. You bet first, right?
Left. So it'd be you.
Okay. Beautiful.
I'm in.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
I am.
mean,
Let's build this pot.
I am
boys.
so glad that we
I
chose
did.
to play this. I'm actually enjoying I'm enjoying being unknowledgeable, because it just feels different from the routine of
Yeah,
playing
it's
these
awesome.
games.
Flip
for
the
sure.
card.
Flip the card.
Is it a game show?
Fries in
Is
the
it a game
bag,
show?
goddammit.
Is it a game show? A podcast? The world may never know. I don't know. I can't even fucking talk on here. Anyways, next up we have a 7.
Okay, so let me ask you this. My dad has this saying that any man whose profession, any man who does something professionally, his own world will not have it in it. Right? He doesn't say that specifically, right? Don't quote
Yeah,
me, Dad. Jesus
more or less
Christ.
that,
But
yeah.
he says that shit, right? And he's like, he says the carpenter, he's a carpenter, will sleep. His bed will be on the floor,
Yep.
right? A server, right, will not want to touch alcohol most of the time, right? Or either touch alcohol way too much.
Yeah.
Do you think it's true that finance guys are the worst with their money?
So I'll preface that. I mean, I want to hit on the quote you just dropped. First, I think the saddest 2 words in life are "what if," and to that, I honestly, as a Christian, I think everyone has God-given talent. However, not all people can realize their talent within their lifetime, and it's sad. For me, I feel like I'm truly blessed to be in a profession that I enjoy, and can honestly just wake up on a day-to-day basis and just enjoy it. But as far as finance people that cannot manage their money, what degree of finance are we talking? Are you talking the braggadocious new age social media financial guys? I feel like they've definitely given the industry as a whole a bad rap.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
I would say as a whole, right? Like you look at lay out every finance guy in the bros and the normal guys
the
like
brick
us,
and mortars,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. and you pick a random one. Are their personal finances? Is their budget going to be to the T?
Well, it depends. Are they doing investment banking? Are they making money to spend money?
It's a great question. Yeah, it's a great question.
I'm joking. Odds on, I would like to think most people, at least all the school we've been through, they can form a basic budget, invest in long-term stocks. A lot of the people, unfortunately, I've been seeing on TikTok, the answer is no. It's all flash, glitz, glamour, and no substance.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, both sides of the spectrum. I mean, social media is so hard to pinpoint these days.
Yeah.
I don't know. The optimist in me would like to think yes, but
Yeah.
brother, I'm not sure, and it's disheartening.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you.
You know?
I think it's extremist though.
Yeah.
Like on both sides.
Yeah.
I think it's either a guy who makes all of his money, let that lifestyle creep,
Mm-hmm.
like take a hold of them, and they're just on their ass. Or you have the guy who is so over diligent with his money that he never enjoys it. He never does it. Like literally every other, like the categories are, they're not 50, 30, 20. They're more like,
Stole the words from my mouth.
they're more like, 30 fucking,
Yeah.
60% goes into the portfolio. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and, that's how I feel though. Like,
I think you're brick and mortar like me. Obviously before you're gonna invest, you got that emergency fund.
Yep.
Completely,
Absolutely.
at least 6 months worth of expenses kind of stored there. Because brother, what I found out, that rainy day fund, as soon as you get it funded, that rainy day hits. It is the funny thing about life. As soon as you work so hard to get that liquid cash stored up.
Yep.
As soon as it's all there, AC gives out, tires blow,
Yep.
But at least it's there. At least you're not having to borrow that money and then pay interest on top of it. One of the big advantages. And then to that investing, dude, I'm boring and basic, but over time, it's foolproof. It's guaranteed.
Yep.
Half of my portfolio is either mutual fund or an index fund.
Yeah.
SPY for the S&P. I love that.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. I wanted to ask because I seen on
if you want to get into
I
investments,
seen on the questionnaire that you put
Yeah.
that I had tried to get into day trading at one point, thinking I was going to get rich overnight.
Day trading's a whole different
No,
animal.
what like Forex? The
Well, I didn't do the Forex. I just did options trading just with I mainly watched like Google Spy and one other one I can't remember. They all kind of travel in like the same thing, but I was in a Discord and I was just on that like wagon of like I have a friend who got rich off of this and
Yeah.
I want to follow.
Yeah.
And then I started realizing how difficult it actually was.
So
to
yeah,
understand.
so that's not investing. That's gambling.
So you don't-
Gambling.
so you don't mess with
Options
any-
trading or
It's
gambling.
high volatility.
Okay, so and I've heard that but I do feel like it can be educated. Do you think so or not?
So here's what I'll say. Your mutual fund, your total portfolio of your investments. I'll start with this. Again, I've not passed my Series 6, 7. I'm not a
This is not financial advice.
This is not financial
We should have
advice.
started with that.
This is someone that's currently mastering in finance. Does it out of passion, love, and a career. But no. So first off, you're gonna base your investments off risk tolerance. So how risky do you want to get with your investments?
Right.
So an easy way to onset it, offset it is stocks and then bonds. So bonds are going to be more brick and mortar concrete. If you want to have low volatility means risk.
Right.
You're going to go more heavy in bonds, and then you're going to go stocks. On the off swing of things, vice versa.
Okay.
I say the younger you are, the more risk prone you need to be. The reason is you have more time to recoup those investments.
Yeah.
So you can afford to be a little more risky.
That's just like they say in the 20s is the time to
The
try
20s
different
are
things.
your golden
Yeah.
years. And that gets to another point. So Albert Einstein
How old
once,
are you, by the way? Sorry.
26.
26.
26, yeah. Albert Einstein once said the most powerful force in the universe is compounding interest. And I agree. So they consider your 20s the golden years for compounding interest. So Matter of fact, y'all care if we do so that extra 10, so say 25 instead of 35. I actually have brought some material.
Hey, fucking crap. Let's
Some
go.
material. The cost of waiting. So 10 years. So say instead of starting at 25, we're going to start at 35. Okay, so that's
Do you think you could read it if it was this way?
Oh,
so
100%.
They can look at the.
I can zoom in that camera
110%.
probably.
Yeah. So this is going to be an example of compounding interest and why the sooner you can start investing, the more important it is and the greater yield it can earn. So for our two examples, we got Penelope Piper. So Penelope, let's see. Maybe I can't read sideways. Okay, so Piper, she has a 30-year time frame to start investing. She does $100 a month for 20 years and no investments for 10 years. On the other hand, we got Penelope. She does a 30-year time frame as well. No investments for 10 years, but does $200 a month for 20 years. Okay, so Piper, she only put in $100 and she did a 10-year less of what Penelope did. And her earnings are almost doubled than what Piper's are. Or vice versa, Piper's versus Penelope's. So the reason is just because of that compounding interest. The more time you have that continual gain on your money, that's then going to get compound times the interest rate and just continue to grow on a year end, is literally the cost of waiting. So the earlier you can invest, the best. But
Yeah, 'cause it looks like you'd have to put up so much more money if you wait longer. You'd have to put up so much more money to catch.
Well, my guy hit on this, the 50-30-20 rule, to which, so 50% is your...
This is the
your-
idea. So if you look at just a normal graph that goes up,
Yeah.
right? If in your 20s you put in a very little amount, right? Like, and most people in their 20s can only put in a little amount because we're fucking living paycheck to paycheck, right?
Yeah.
Most people, right? If you're only put in, say, fucking 20% of everything you make before it even goes into your bank account, you go, or as soon as it hits your bank account, you go, boom, I'm investing that, right?
Okay.
And you keep that up, right? And your average is like what? Say you make $3,000 a month, right?
Okay.
So if you're putting in that little amounts of money each month, right? It's not gonna matter later down the line where you're gonna have to be putting in fucking $3,000 a month
Yep.
to catch up,
Right.
right? Because if
Yeah.
you're putting in that little amount now, it's gonna then be like, okay, say, and you're by the end of your 20s, if you did the 20%, right? Say you've got $30,000,
Yep.
$40,000, right? Going into from your 20s, going into your 40s after that compounding of 10 years, right? And don't quote me on this, but you'd probably be looking at about 140 to 100, about $140,000 more than likely, with $20,000 over 10 years of if you didn't add like another dime.
Have you heard the
Gotcha.
term "let your money work for you"?
Yeah, all the time.
That is compounding interest summed up to
Yeah.
a T. It's letting it sit. I personally, I'm invested. And this is what I advise to all my friends. Anyone I'm recommending starting out, whether it's $100, $1,000, just something baseline. 50% of your investment portfolio, the market. So that's an index fund. That's going to hold everything within the S&P, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ.
Yeah.
Whichever market, I like the S&P. Good residual growth.
Historically, it doesn't let you down.
Since
Yeah.
the housing crisis, which Black Swan event, but since that, very continual. I think it's at least averaged 8% year in growth. But to that, I like mutual funds too, which they're going to be a little more. So index funds are trying to match the market. Mutual funds are trying to beat the market. So mutual funds are going to be large conglomerates of investments within the market. They can be a little more like tech heavy. Tech as an industry has a little more growth as opposed to other industries. But just a mix of those two. And in the words of Warren Buffett, just buy stuff you believe in.
Yeah.
I go
Yeah.
split in tech, something that you think has long-term growth, like Apple. I'm going to keep investing in Apple because
We're never getting.
what do
rid
you
of it,
have?
though, yeah.
Just don't
These
see it
are the
go
most
anywhere.
prominent phones. It's become the
Hey,
cool.
Can you do this? Do that for me. Cool. Check to you.
We done went off on a ramble.
No, man, I think it's really good info. I think the most important thing, though, like baseline finances for anyone who's listening, is straight up just get a budget.
Yep.
Like, track, literally don't even
Are
like,
you ready for this?
yeah.
Keep going. Keep going though.
I don't think the average person should worry themselves so much about investing, because the funny part about investing is you become way more interested in it when you have money to invest.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
you
yeah.
when you look at the end of the month, each month, if you actually lay out a budget and just spend an hour and be like, all right, this is how much I'm making, right?
Yeah.
This is how much I have to spend, right? What's left over? It's that simple. It's basic math, and you go, okay, what's left over? Out of that leftover, what do you want to do with it, right? Let me just take that leftover, and the smart people take their investment money out first. But if you're just starting, say, okay, whatever's left over, what do I really want to do with that, right? Put the majority of it, right, into something you want to do.
Yep.
And save up for it, right? But take a little bit of it, that 20%, right, of whatever you have left over, and get learned enough to where you start a Fidelity account and just go, I'm putting it into the safest thing possible. An S&P, a bond,
Roth IRA.
Roth IRA, just something like that. If you do that, you're going to get excited because you're going to be checking that app and go, holy shit, I made, 17 cents in the past day. And it's stupid, but like you can watch it. It turns into a game.
But
Yeah.
to that point, don't be emotional.
Yeah.
Don't
Don't go-
trade emotionally.
Well, I think
To that point,
Go ahead.
yeah, have y'all heard of the term timing the market? You're never going to time the market.
Right.
My favorite finance professor, who used to be a hedge fund manager, Mr. McCumber in Dallas,
Shout out.
shout out Dallas Fort Worth area. He contributed timing the market to a falling sword. Do you know what a sword looks like? It's a big blade, a tiny little handle. So imagine a falling sword. So a falling sword trying to catch that on the handle is like trying to time the market. Well, that's probably like an 80% width of sword and blade that's going to cut you, make you bleed,
Right.
versus the handle to where, yeah, you'll be safe. But the vice versa was catching on the
possibility
blade.
is so low.
It's and so when I say timing the market, I try to strategically plan my investments for the long term, and just buy stuff that's over time going to appreciate. I like to be dividend heavy, stocks that are going to pay me dividends. So a dividend is, so say you take out a loan, they're going to charge you an interest rate.
Okay.
It's the opposite side. So with buying a stock, you are buying a portion of that company, be it a
Right.
small portion of that company.
Right.
But with you owning a percentage of that company, they're going to pay you money off the, say, deposits of
Right.
the loan that they're holding. You
Yeah.
know. So
As their equity grows, yours does too.
yeah,
Exactly,
and there's
yeah.
different stocks that are more higher earning yield to dividend producing and so on
Yeah.
and so forth.
So, and I wanted to ask real quick.
Yeah.
I've heard the term. I've heard of Roth IRA. I've heard of like the index funds, and some of these may be the same. Some of them may not. What all do you? Okay, because my YouTube algorithm is just flushed with financial advisors. Dave
Good.
Ramsey out there.
Dave Ramsey,
as
Caleb
well.
Hammer,
Caleb
good
Hammer,
men, good
all
men.
of those.
Fighting the good fight.
And-
yeah.
Yeah, they're doing the Lord's work.
And I love watching these guys, but sometimes and really it's just that I'm stuck in the doom scrolling instead of let me go look up
Taking
what they're
action.
talking about. Let me actually,
Yeah.
take action, yeah. I'm trying to ask this.
When you're employed, they handle that for you. So
I'm kind of anyways.
I love this guy.
Yeah, he's a fucking dick, isn't he?
I love that.
I make a good bit of
I
money
guess we
being
are
self-employed.
finance
I know you are, bud.
Right? So
and you're doom scrolling.
yeah, I am doom scrolling. You have a job and you do doom scrolling too. So look, we're in the same fucking boat.
No, look, when it comes to finance,
Anyways.
there's no such thing as a bad question.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
and so I'm trying to ask
Needs
this
to be
without
asked.
asking like financial advice,
Yeah.
but like, say personally, do you split your money between index funds and Roth IRA and like, you know, because there's multiple terms that I hear for these long term.
So it's investment vehicles. Is which vehicle do you want to choose? Roth IRAs have tax incentives if you want to invest in them. For those specific, if it's a tax incentive driven investment vehicle, I thoroughly encourage you to talk to your CPA. I do my taxes, but when it comes to giving another person, let alone a podcast, tax advice,
This is not tax. advice.
no, by
Financial
no
advice.
means. There are more seasoned vets, if you will,
Yeah.
that know all the ins and outs through Schedule C, K, C, so on and so forth. That can give you, you know, the best advice.
Yeah.
So I will
gotcha.
say this. Do you mind if I hop in? real
Not at
quick?
all,
Just so if every investment vehicle you should look at as what's my goal
Yep.
to
Okay.
this, right? And I think that's what you were saying
Yep.
too. Like, is if you look at it and you say, okay, this is what the money I'm gonna have whenever I'm ready to retire,
Okay.
right? There's a whole lot of things that go into it that you need to know. Like, okay, what's the age that I want to retire,
Mhm.
right? That's going to determine, do I really want to do a 401k or do I want to do a Roth IRA,
Got you.
right?
Okay.
If it's not for retirement, I mean, a lot of wealthy people put their money as like, I'm planning to start a business on top of the businesses that I own using the investments I'm making here. It's a very
Gotcha.
safe investment.
Yeah.
But it's making more than me just putting it into like a high APY savings account.
Yeah,
okay,
Right? I'm
yep.
using it as like a savings.
Okay, so just to kind of dabble on that, so say that you have a lump sum of money and you're looking to put it somewhere. So just like people say to not put all your eggs in one basket, right? You don't. If I had $100,000, I don't want to go put $100,000 in Apple. Like that's
You're
not
talking about rule number 1 of finance: diversification.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So think about, okay, to that point,
So would you not? What I wanted to ask
Yeah.
on that is, would you not want to be invested in all of these things for all of their benefits? For all of you see what I'm saying?
the way I like to describe diversification, say you have a house on a golf course.
Okay.
You got a beautiful backyard facing the 18th hole.
Okay.
And you know that 18th hole,
Creaming in his pants
you're gonna
over there.
catch golf balls.
Yeah.
So
With your cock out.
a
too,
happy
yeah.
wife is a happy life. But say your wife wants this beautiful back glass window pane. It's got ornate furnishing. It's beautiful. You know,
Yeah.
if you're on the backyard barbecuing, looks beautiful. You know,
Yeah.
the sunlight, the way it comes into the house is awesome. You could have that, but it's also facing a golf course. So that's one single window pane. Or you could buy single panes. Doesn't look as great. But if a golf ball ever comes to the back part of that house, which in all likelihood is probably going to do that at some point,
Right.
instead of having to replace one single glass of paint, you have these individual panes. So only if one pane gets hit, the rest are fine. So diversification is you're playing the entire market. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That is the crux of that argument, that statement. So different markets are going to get affected by different, you know, things of the economy,
Right.
depending which niche they kind of fall into.
What it's like.
If you get 100,000, like you're saying, a lump sum, right?
Okay.
Rule number 1 is obviously diversify, and you do that for safety. You
Right.
do that because you don't want to lose the $100,000.
Right. You don't want something to
Right.
come about and break
Correct.
the whole fucking big ass glass pane that you.
But
put.
how
Yeah.
much you put into one thing versus another thing, right? Whichever vehicle you choose
Mhm.
needs to 100% be based on your goal. That's why it's so
Right.
individualized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
it's-
so individual.
So maybe you, like talking about
Here
these
we go.
long term investments, you could have one of them that just for you works for your desired plan of what.
All of them should.
To your point,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
All of them
Okay.
should.
I would say, as an investor, you should at minimum shoot for 8% annual return. But anywhere from 8 to 12%, I feel like is a very comfortable kind of margin. If you can get from 8 to 12%, solid. If it's 10 in the average, solid. You know. So to the example of diversification, we have Penelope and Piper are back at
they're
it
back
again.
there, yeah.
So Penelope
It's fucking-
has chosen not to diversify. She just has a singular stock, which garnering 6%, solid. Most money markets, depending on the rate environment, can give you a 6% return. But Piper, she diversified.
Okay.
So what does she diversify into? So she has 4 different buckets. One of her buckets took a $2,500 loss. Okay, might seem bad. She also had a 4% gain, a little over 6,000, an 8% gain over 7, and a 12% gain at 42,000. So with that, she took a loss and she took a couple of small wins, but that big kind of garnered win right there really set her apart to where Penelope just invested in one stock, 6% safe baseline, but with Piper diversifying, she kind of played all ends of the spectrum and she ended up with more money.
So even with the one glass pane breaking,
100%.
she's still- yeah.
She's still solid. You know,
She's
the rest
still
of the
fine.
house is still there.
She did better too.
She
Yeah.
did better.
And another thing too is like I like to talk to people because they're like, dude, I'm going all in. I'm hit. We live in a society that's
Bitcoin.
definitely instant gratification.
Yep.
Whenever it's like
Talk.
when it comes to finance.
Mhm.
This is not the first time in history in finance that it's been that way, right? But I think it's the first time that it's been as widespread as
Social
it
media.
is.
due to social
Yeah.
media, yeah.
And a huge part of that is there's all these stories like you said, you want to get rich not quick, but get rich because I saw someone else do it.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, like I would never tell anybody of like, oh, you're new to the stock market. Here, try some option trading. Like, fuck no. You know what I mean? So like that's something that it's like
it plays to the volatility, does it not? Options and crypto, high volatility.
It
portions
does.
of
Yeah,
the
and
market.
but that's the thing about it because I was already investing. I already had my long-term investments, and it was just that I was looking for that get rich quick, and I heard about options, and I was like, oh, so this is basically I can play those jumps.
if that's
for
money
bigger
set aside where you're like, bro, this is literally for me to if something it's opportunity, right?
is.
I call it
Yeah.
an opportunity fund.
Yeah.
Right. I have an opportunity fund where, you know, if something comes along and I'm ready to invest heavy into that because I think it's gonna be something and I lose that, it's fine. It's
Right.
one of the pains that was meant to break.
So just to tell y'all, and right after I tell this, let's finish out this hand.
Yeah.
I wanted to speaking on the get rich quick thing. I've made one investment in my life that was balls to the wall. I'm just gonna do this because my friend said it's a good idea, right?
Love to hear this.
I'm a little bit of a follower at times,
Yeah.
right? Not completely. I'm a leader, but
Oh, yeah, yeah.
everybody follows a little bit.
Self-employed,
Sometimes.
goddamn
You're
it.
good, brother.
We're in my studio. Anyways, it's not much, but AMC.
Jesus God.
You remember AMC, right?
I do.
Oh,
You remember AMC?
I do.
I knew you had to remember AMC, and I bet he does too.
Yeah.
The
I
meme
remember
rise,
was just saying they're both in finance, so I was just.
the retail revolution.
I wasn't saying that you're any lesser than them. I'm
Nokia
just
and
saying the two
GameStop.
finance guys have to know about AMC.
Nobody
Yeah.
said that
This
It
about
was
black guy
fucking-
doesn't know what AMC is.
And he has to be black. He just happens to be black. God
you're
damn
the
it.
one
Go watch a picture
Don't
show
clip
from here
this.
now.
Anyways, I had a friend where at a time he had saved up $80,000 in a bank account. And I seen that, and I'm young, and I see this. I'm maybe 21 or 22 at the time.
About to
And I
work on
see
my
this,
IBS.
and I'm automatically like, I'm doing something wrong. Like all of a sudden, I'm self conscious, and I'm like, I'm doing something wrong.
All of that.
Fuck. What? How do you? So I started talking to him a lot more. Right? I'm like, all right, well, you are the company you keep, so you're my friend now.
Hello, friend.
So I'm like, where I think at the time I had $1,500 saved up, and I was like, or $1,500 on the side that was like, this is whatever money, and I was like, what should I do with this $1,500? And he was like, he was being rational. He was like, just invest in like the S&P, do this, do
No,
that.
but for real.
And I'm like, I
Cut the
said,
shit. That
I was
takes
like,
years.
I was like, no, like,
now.
give me some. Yes, exactly though. Like literally, I was like, no, I want something quick now. And he was like,
Try heroin.
he was like,
You'll feel
well,
like a millionaire.
he was like, well, there is this thing going on with AMC right now. And he was like, do you know anything about that? And I said, no. And he was like, well, it could be a huge gain if you're looking for something to make you a lot of money. And I was like, okay, cool. So guarantee me right now that it can make me money.
Oh my
And
God.
look, but you gotta think, I'm a young kid. I'm completely oblivious to how investing works at this time.
Yeah.
This is my first dive into it. I created my Webull account that night. So
Bro, I would just took your money and then been like, sorry, we lost it.
no. So I wasn't giving it to
Do
him.
not follow him for financial advice.
I wasn't. Yeah, please, definitely don't. I was giving him. I was basically. He was showing me how to invest and stuff, and I was just saying, where can I put this money? I want to make money. So he told me all that, cool, and I'm just stupid as fuck, and I'm just like, dude, just tell me where to put it. Tell me where to put it. He was like, look, if you just want me to just tell you where to invest right now, and you want something quick and go balls to the wall, put it in AMC. If you lose it all, it's your fault. And I was like, don't tell me that. Tell me I'm gonna make money. And I was being a fucking dickhead. And I told him just like, okay, AMC. He was like, yeah, I'm 90% sure it's gonna blow, but and he said I'm invested in it. I was like, cool, that's enough. Cool, I'm investing. Boom. I put $1,000 in it that night. The next day I said, fuck it, I'm putting the other 500 in. So I put 1,500 in. Couple months goes by.
Oh, a couple.
couple months goes by. No. It gets good. AMC pops. This was before the pop, so it was before the huge game.
Well, it popped for 3 days and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm in my old studio where I was I was in the trenches, bro. I was down and out.
We all come from somewhere.
But I'm in a stinky ass room, bro, just watching my fucking thing going up $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. I'm like, what the fuck? I've never seen money grow like that.
Then you heard diamond hands.
And knowing that it's mine. Diamond hands, yes. Yeah. And so I'm like, fuck it, I'm holding on. What? Why is it growing? Fuck, it's going. $12,000. I think 12 or 13,000 is where it's capped out at. And I put in 1,500 in. And yeah, my percentage, my up percentage, I can't remember what the percentage was, but you guys can do the math. So I'm like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm holding on,
bro.
because I'm like
rolling, bro.
But from my perspective, I don't know how I got this. So if you put yourself in my perspective, it's I don't know how to get this. I just know that it's happening, and I want it to make as much as possible. If I don't figure out how to make this much again, so there's where my head's at.
In moderation, that's fine.
Sure, but what ended up happening was I saw that, and it plateaued for maybe a day or two, and then dropped off a little bit, and I was like, okay. And I was watching an investor
Diamond Hands
on YouTube who was telling me diamond hand it, and I was taking
Kitty Man.
I was taking financial advice from Trey Trades on YouTube. It was a less known YouTuber, but he was very big. He was one of the ones who went on the news for AMC. He was one of the big guys leading the rush.
Retail revolution.
So I stayed in it. Drops off a little bit more. Drops off a little more. At a certain point, I was just like, I'm getting out. Because I saw, and I screenshotted I still have it in my photos of the $11,900 that I was up. I took my money out with $3,400 off of $1,500.
You doubled it.
I still made money,
You doubled it.
but
still hurt.
I still tell people this story every day. And everybody, and keep in mind, most of these people are not in any type of finance. They don't invest. They don't know shit. So people, that's why I'm careful who I tell the story to. They're like, I would have pulled it out. Would you? If you were there in my shoes, in that situation,
all I hear is success.
You never would have invested, right?
I never would have
invested. Just like if I knew what I was doing,
he's gonna agree.
I wouldn't have invested either. Now that I have more of a
Pigs
clear
get
scope
fed,
of what it was.
hogs get slaughtered. You doubled your money.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cannot get caught up in the what ifs.
Right.
Okay.
It's the fact that I seen it in there and knew if I took it out.
You know the 3 best traders on Wall Street? There's 3 of them. They're undefeated. They've never lost a trade. They've always executed a perfect trade. They've always sold at the perfect time. They're undefeated. Shoulda, coulda, and woulda.
Yeah.
2020 hindsight, bro. You're never gonna fucking time the
one.
market. You're never gonna time it.
Yeah.
A little old man adage right there for you. But
Yeah. No, that was
dude, it is
beautiful.
fine. Whenever I encourage my friends to invest, me personally, I have a 10% volume of my portfolio is very risk high, high volatility. I'll do a little option trading. I like to employ what's called the strangle method. If it's a stagnant stock, I'll buy the call and the put option. And if I can exercise both premiums, I get paid double, and it's nice. But I don't put a lot of money into that. And I wouldn't recommend any of my friends who are just sinking their feet into the water to get into something like that, because it's gambling. It's like hitting horseshoe, Margaritaville. It's gambling. But if you have a small allocated portion of your entire portfolio dedicated to that, after you've had years of experience and have kind of seen how the market moves and is sensitive to certain events, then there's a time, to kind of get into that. But until you're comfortable with like the basics, the bread and butter, as I call it.
Right.
As they say, create your fortress of solitude.
first.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
get your base. Fuck you,
Yep.
right? And that's true financial adage right there. Is have the fuck you money is really for most people is going to be a year of an emergency fund.
Yeah.
Honestly.
100%, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like honestly,
Yeah, for
if you could go a year where somebody lays you off of your job if you've got a job,
Mhm.
if someone if you if you get hurt,
little.
hey,
stabs you
let's
take,
say
right?
you get hurt, right? Let's say you're in the Mustang, you get hurt, right? If you can
Just using everything against me, doesn't he?
if you can sit there and go, bro, I do not have to lift a finger for 1 year,
Mhm.
that's fuck you money because
Yeah.
you know that's never gonna happen.
Can I build upon that, if you don't mind?
Go ahead.
What really grinds my gears in this day and age is the victim mentality.
We look so white right now.
No, we do, and it's
Absolutely.
maybe intentional,
So fucking
slightly
white right
intentional, but no, but like honestly, the victim mentality that has plagued America, you know, because I know people that bust their ass to just make ends meet, and then they save on top of that.
Let's
If you
play
can
it, though.
save on top of that, and also have that year of emergency fund. It was not to me.
I thought you checked.
No, I thought it was to you.
Then bet. I fold.
What was up? What did you put up?
I just realized I'm not a multitasker. Back to poker, boys. Anyway, no. Back to the victim mentality. If you can save that fuck you money of a year of emergency fund, how much better does it feel when you
Yeah.
worked your ass off? You made sacrifices of I'm not gonna eat out. I'm not gonna go to the bar with my boys. I'm gonna be a social recluse for a couple of years. Can I re-raise this?
Yeah.
Can I re-raise?
Yeah, you can.
I'm gonna be a social recluse for a couple of years, and that hard-earned money feels
Try to
better.
keep it even.
Okay.
Four.
You already tapped.
That hard-earned money feels better, does it not?
Oh, it absolutely does. I mean, you know, the idea of one following a budget it's hard at first, but then it becomes so rewarding,
Mm-hmm.
like very quickly,
Break them chains.
very quickly, because you're like, it's so much better to like,
I'll put this for.
oh,
Flush. Oh,
damn, he got you on that, dog.
you did.
That's called compound growth.
I just seen a Jack King.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Damn.
a smart fold,
I know.
but a hard,
That
but
was a hard.
that's your AMC
Okay,
right
okay.
there.
That was AMC right there.
Okay, but
Open policy to cut me off. I feel like you feel the same way. Once I get going about something I enjoy talking about.
no, look, that's what we brought you on for. So I actually,
really?
I hit these guys up and I said I want to talk finances,
Yeah.
and I'm not a,
goated right here.
I'm
What?
not.
About
Oh,
finance.
Thanks, bro.
Sure, but I'm not in finance. He's not.
He
in
doesn't
finance.
listen to me because I'm a fucking asshole.
you're-
I actually
Yeah.
know, and on a real note, this guy doesn't know how much I actually look up to him sometimes because he is. Because no, you just have things to look up to as a human being. You
What a
have
stud.
things that somebody could look up to around your age as well.
Thank you, bro.
Just like your dad gave you credit on that pod, like that, rightfully so.
Thank you.
And that's just like I'm sure the rest of us too. There's some people out there that could look up to us. You know, just there's always less fortunate, less whatever.
Sly's got more money than all of us combined, so I just want to say that.
In
too.
10 years, if I had to gamble, like we're playing, I would put all my chips on this brother Sly
I would too.
right here, dude.
Sly is the genius behind this podcast.
Yeah,
I know that.
Sly brought us together and everything.
And
And
I'm
I
not-
never would have thought that I'd be doing a podcast.
Does he not
with
have
him.
the Hollywood face?
Absolutely, and the voice,
Bro.
and the voice.
The
Silk.
voice. Slow ass fucking talking, but
All right, let's get off his dick. Let's
Guys.
chill out. I know he's
Guys,
uncomfortable.
I'm just a regular guy.
He said, "I came."
but no, legitimately, I wanted to talk about finances. I knew he was strong in it,
Yep.
so I was already like, and I think this was around the time that I started getting to know him better, and I was like, I want to pick his brain a little bit as
Yep.
well. I love talking to people who can tell me stuff. Tell me about shit I don't know about. I'm dumb, and I'm not
Well,
afraid
dude,
to admit
just
that I'm
honestly,
dumb.
one of the greatest joys
Learn to multitask.
of my professional life has been, so one of my customers is a school system to which they have a lot of schools within that system. So there is trying to beat around the bush.
Bullshitting as he lays out the cards.
So
I know two I can get.
so there's a new initiative in Louisiana, financial literacy, to which
God, please.
it is for this year. It is an elective class for honor students and a mandatory class for non-honor students. So I've had the pleasure to go to many schools and teach financial literacy to a lot of these schools, to which I know I took a lot of BS schools in high school to where I've retained zero knowledge
It's a choice.
from that class, but like give me some backbone, like financial foundation to build on, you know, because a lot of these kids aren't going to go to college. Maybe it's trade school, maybe it's just straight into the workforce, you know, post high school. But you know, to have a class kind of
And God, to go into a trade, and
hey, they're kind of eating right now.
make the
Plumbers
fucking money that you can make and not know, it's such a disservice.
going to plumbing.
It's such a disservice,
bro.
dude.
You make triple figures in plumbing these days.
No, so seriously, I actually, quickly, my last studio got flooded out, and I was looking for work. I ended up.
Cards on top of the burn table.
Nice.
What happened?
I put my cards on top of the burn table. I took the
Oh,
bottom
okay,
two.
okay.
He
Cameras
folded.
can see. I did
So-
not.
You voted.
I lost my old studio, and I thought it was game over for me. I ended up getting a job with my boy Sly. He was kind enough to put me on where he works at.
Yeah. I just want you to say.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I got you. I know where I'm at.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm dumb, but not as a rock. I was looking into during that time getting a job as an electrician because I started looking up trades. All my friends back home are in the trades because I'm from a small town in Texas where if you're not welding, you're doing some other type of trade. Welding was like one of the only big classes we had in my school. Like every man was.
How's
in
your
welding.
wire to your stick welding? Which is better?
I don't know shit about welding.
Okay.
I don't know. No, I didn't do welding. I didn't do welding because I thought I was gonna be a famous rapper.
Yeah.
Right. And here I am.
Of course.
I own a
You look
studio.
like Mac Miller.
I own a studio, so I've made some success out of it. Not where I want to be yet, but more successful than a broke rapper with no money. So, or where I had to work another job. Like I can actually do music and work for myself.
You got the foundation,
But-
brother.
Period.
But yeah, period. Oh God. No, seriously though, because a lot of times I get caught up in it, and I have to remind myself like you've built something. You're
Right,
not where you
yeah.
want to be, but you have built something.
Dude, we're in
Go off,
the castle that you built.
Yeah, for sure.
Not with my hands, but
He just whispered in my ear, "Slay."
But so anyways,
Anything.
I looked into the trades and everything. Again, it's all I know, and what the path that all my friends back home. It seems to be like the only path that I'm like, all right, it's working for y'all. Let me get into it. And I tried to get into being an electrician. I went and took the test with the union and everything, and went through it, and I passed the test with flying with whatever you want to call it, some
Yeah.
term.
Flying
I passed
colors,
it.
flying colors.
I passed it with
Like
very
the
high
rainbow.
scores. But what they told me is your scores really don't matter. The scores is just to get you to the interview. So I go do the interview.
I remember all this.
Yeah, I go do the interview, and you have to wait a few months after that. Like it ended up being about 4 to 6 months that I had to wait for the results. So about 4 to 6 months later, I get a letter in the mail, and it says that I did not get accepted. So that kind of killed my dreams of going into being an electrician. But with all the research I did, I was choosing between electrician and plumbing.
Don't get
And
emotional about
to
it.
me, those two were the top two trade fields from my research that were the most beneficial from my research.
Yep.
And it was between those two. And my buddies are all plumbers, and I was like, I don't want to smell shit all day. That's just
Yeah.
You have to think about what you're gonna enjoy. I do love money, but I will not do something I don't like that bad for money. And I knew that I am horrid to the smell of vomit, shit, piss. I hate those smells. So I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing plumbing. I'll be an electrician. and then with all the routes that it had after that. There's a lot of money you can make in the trade, and nobody can take that away from you either.
Hell no.
Like,
Brother, believe it or not, every tax bracket has the same freaking problems. The whole adage, more money, more problems.
Right.
Depending on how much more money you have, the more bills, utilities, county property tax you're going to pay. It is still a high cost of living.
This is
even if you make more money.
well, yeah, that's a big. I'm sorry to cut you off. That's a big thing though. With
So do something you enjoy.
you
Absolutely.
could so
Yeah,
say
absolutely.
say
Screw
that
the
you
money.
make say
Yeah,
that you make
absolutely.
$5,000 a month
Absolutely.
doing what you do, and somebody else makes $20,000 a month, but your living expenses at $5,000 a month are say $2,000 a month. But the person who makes, what did I say, $20,000 a month, their living expenses are to what they make. So at that point, hypothetically, you make more money than that person does.
If you got God, a good woman, and a roof over your head,
Come on,
brother,
now.
you're set. You're
That's it.
set. You're set.
Preach.
You're set. You
Preach.
know.
So my dad always made the joke. My dad's an aerospace engineer. We had him on
Yeah,
last week,
last
right?
week.
I never knew what he did. I
My
never
brother's
asked
in
him about that.
aerospace.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and he's a very smart guy. He does not lead on his.
No wonder you're so. All right, it makes sense.
He never. No, I definitely fell away from. Some motherfucker dropped it and threw it. But the no, he is brilliant and he doesn't lead on that he is, but he is, and he's
Yeah.
artistically brilliant and one of the most like intelligent people that I know, but can sit here and bullshit.
Yeah,
You know
And
what I
they can
mean?
explain it in such a
Still a
easy
human
to
being.
digest level.
Yes.
That takes a certain IQ to do that.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And we
I
say
like what
all
you
the
said
time.
though. He's still a human being. Like I would have never.
Yeah,
I would have.
dude.
I honestly thought your dad was in a trade. Like I thought he may be a plumber.
He calls himself
Yeah.
a carpenter because he started off making custom furniture, and when I say custom furniture, bro, he made all of the furniture for Beauty and the Beast.
Mm.
Yeah, like
Oh.
he made it where they looked alive and animated,
Oh.
and like
Oh, that's
yeah,
insane.
Oh.
yeah. It was crazy. So
like you said, artistically.
it was
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
artistic and
All right.
very amazing, right?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And
We should have talked to him about this. We
Why don't we
bring him back on.
he's gonna
We'll
come
have
back
back
on.
on. Next week, guys.
I didn't want to hype him up sitting there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you've got to meet this guy's dad. He's fucking
But-
cool as shit, bro.
Yeah, he is.
But my point is he would always make the joke of like I never read books, right?
Mhm.
Like he always would be like he didn't listen to any kind of audiobooks. He never read books. He read what he had to get through
School.
school.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he was like, and I read Green Eggs and Ham, right? There
Didn't
was,
we all?
Seuss cooked, man.
there was
Good,
one
bro.
book that he looked up to, bitch. He looked up to this guy, right, that recommended this book to him, and it was Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
What's his name? Was the author? Fucking,
Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And so he
Is
read
that right?
that book,
Is
and
that right? Is that-
he would
Yeah.
say, growing up, remember we talked about a little bit of like my growing up, what he would tell me and stuff, you know, and he always would say like, dude, it does not matter how much money you make, right? Live where you feel happy.
Yes.
Mm.
If
Yep.
you live where you feel happy, and that's it, don't worry about what anyone else thinks.
Yep.
He was like, one, it's nobody else's business how much money you got.
Right.
He was like, that's nobody else's business but you, right? If you're broke on the street, that's that person's business,
Yeah.
right?
I've never really actually had somebody ask, how much do you make?
Well, it's a
That's
different
not even
with
a common
social
thing.
media. The keeping up with the Joneses is now like,
It's not about how much you actually make; it's about the perception of how much you make.
Right.
That's
and
what
you
it's
only
about.
project
Right.
the best moments of your life on social
Exactly.
media.
Yeah.
You know, no one sees the gloomy days of you and your girl getting in a fight. And
Yeah.
family issues.
I gotta say the biggest things that make me happy is got to be what's the word? Fuck, I'm blanking on the word, but just knowing that you're good, safety.
Safety. That's
Just
it.
knowing
Security.
all
That's it.
I
Security,
want to
yeah.
security. I want to know that next
Financial
month I'm
security.
gonna have the
You
rent.
don't have
that
to
I
wake
need.
up in a
Right.
cold sweat of.
You don't have to wake up thinking, how am I gonna make
Yeah.
more money
So-
to make this
That's it.
happen?
Not to put
Yeah,
my
that
dad
is-
on blast
that's
at
it.
all, right? And I prefaced how smart he is. Right?
Yeah.
My dad lived to that detriment of that idea, right?
Absolutely.
And what I mean by that is he would be like, I'm talented enough to make the money come from wherever,
Yeah.
right? So
Provider.
he would spend his money not on himself, on us, right? My mom always drove the nicest car. My mom, because he wanted that,
Yeah.
right? And he did it smart. He never never once did he ever miss a bill, right? Never
Okay.
once did he ever get behind. But he let his own lifestyle creep up, and I called him out on it, and he goes, "What did I teach you?" And I'm like, "Well, to spend what makes you happy." And he goes, "Exactly." He goes, "Every time that I would take on an opportunity that made me happy, that cost me money," he said, "I always found out a way to double it. Always. I would not only make the amount to pay that, but I would make the money more than that."
I think you hit on a profound topic of lifestyle creep. Could you explain how dangerous that can really get?
So lifestyle creep is, I think, the main killer of this generation.
Yep.
I really do. I think it is the biggest killer, and for people who don't know, our audience members who don't know what lifestyle creep is, let's say I'm making $3,000 a month, right?
Right.
I decide that I'm gonna go out. What time is it? It is 9:35.
Okay, keep going.
Or almost. Let's say that you're driving a Honda Fit. Nothing wrong with Hondas. Love Hondas, right? Let's say you're driving a Honda Fit. You're making $3,000 a month. You get a paycheck. You become a manager somewhere, right? You're making $5,000 a month. Your car is perfectly fine. It's not breaking down. But you feel like since you got this raise, that you deserve to be driving a car that
2025 AMG.
that is fitting.
25 NG.
To your standard.
If I told you what my payment was on that car, I swear to God you won't believe me.
You know,
No, I believe you. I believe you.
like no,
Because but that's deeper than that, because that's deeper to knowing that I think I know you well enough, which I don't know you that super well, but I know you well enough to know he's not stupid. Like, he's not stupid.
If I told you what I was paying for that car, you would be like, "Where can I get one?" It is. But lifestyle creep. I'm blessed enough to work at a car dealership that can, provide me with an awesome car and the allowance to do so. But lifestyle creep will be like, all right, now I'm trading in that Honda Fit that is paid off and completely fine, not broken at all,
Right.
and I'm gonna take on a $400 a month payment.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
And okay, now, dude, I got the nice car. I need to look the part, right? So let me do that. And fuck, dude, I don't need to be living in a 1-bedroom apartment. A manager doesn't live in a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
It basically starts to stack up.
It starts
It
to
does.
stack
It's kind of
up.
like a puzzle piece that you're putting
Overbearing.
together. It's almost like you need every piece, but to have every piece, you start to get to the ceiling of it where it's like, oh, I need to make more money because I can't
Very well
afford.
said.
I can't
all
afford the
this.
suits. I can't afford
Yeah.
the eating whatever I want whenever I want.
And-
you know.
I think you nailed it right there.
And when
know?
you can't afford it, it's so much better because like you go, okay, having the emergency fund and being able to contribute to your investments in your future, that's all you need. And you can spend on whatever you want. Right? And we had that talk with Q Major after the podcast.
Yeah.
Where he was asking me about a budget and I was like, dude, he goes,
Was that Q Major or DJ Josh Scott? I remember
it was Josh Scott. It was Josh Scott.
Yeah.
My mistake. It was the podcast after that. The
Before that, it was
before
yeah,
that,
it doesn't
right?
matter.
Okay.
You're good.
Yeah, my dates are off. But
Live it in the moment.
but he was like, I don't like to have a budget because I feel like it's so constraining. Like it limits me on what I can do. And I said, it's exactly the opposite. A budget is exactly the opposite of what it never limits you. It allows you to, if I want to drop $200 on a dinner and I have it budgeted in,
You know where you're at.
you know where it's at
Yeah.
and there's no guilt.
I'm so,
Exactly.
I'm
They
so
go.
okay. I'm so glad that you said that because, I like to treat myself every now and then.
As you should.
We
That's
all
the
do,
point
and
of
you
life.
should.
Yeah.
Sure. And one of my things is I like to go eat at places that I can't really afford to eat at.
Okay.
So
To make it to where you can.
yeah, and you can budget it in and make it
Exactly.
happen, but I didn't do that.
But
Devil's
to
ad-
go-
Devil's advocate.
So-
But to
I've-
go, I've got $500. Like, sorry. She
I'll
will.
believe it.
Yeah, thank you. She will go. I've got $300 left after spending bills on the my paycheck. That means I can spend $300.
Got you.
Not a budget.
Let's expand on that because saying what I was saying about the eating thing, there's been a couple times where I also like romance. I like that in my relationship, so I like to go
yeah?
to romantic restaurants,
I love it.
which are usually steakhouses. And I like
You never
to.
take
So
me out.
there's been a couple times that I've gone to a steakhouse and that ticket comes out and it's $250, and I'm sitting there like I have the money for this. I knew, but the whole time that I'm at the restaurant, it's really more for the woman's pleasure because when you think about it from my perspective, I have $1,000.
I'll
And
just
I'm
take
like,
an appetizer, please.
and I'm just like, I know that I can get whatever I want, but I know that the more it is, the more it's gonna hurt me. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome to the show, brother.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the part where it's like I don't enjoy this. Like, yes, it makes me look good to this female, and this is where I kind of learned like you don't need a female who needs to go to these. And I've never had a female who needed that. I just like those things myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like to do them, but I don't like sitting at dinner at a nice steakhouse and not enjoying my food as much because I'm thinking about how much does this cost? How much? Okay, with that plus tax.
Not
One thing that I always do, if I can't afford 3 of what I'm about to buy, then I'm not gonna buy.
You just reminded me of
good
Grant.
rule of thumb, right
He
there.
just
If I can't
reminded
afford
me.
3 of it,
What's the price range of what you would buy
so
on this
like
particular date?
for like the date thing. If I can't afford 3 of those $200 meals or dates,
Got you.
I'm
Yeah,
going to steal, like,
that
this
reminds me
$200
of
man.
Grant Cardone, who is another financial guy that I watch. That he's always got the 1/3 rule of if I don't have 3 times what I'm trying to buy, it's the same thing. Then
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy it.
I ever tell you I went through Cardone U?
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Oh,
I paid for it. Yeah, I went
Really?
through the whole thing. Yeah.
Did it pay off? Do you think it was worth it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Sales skills
Shout
were
out to
great.
Grant Cardone, man.
Love Grant.
And all
Absolutely.
those financial
You know what's
guys.
funny? So who I originally started working with was a trainer at a Honda dealership, and he is a badass, bro. Badass old school dude. Always played it by the book
Slides to you,
and
brother.
good as fuck, right?
Knocking.
He was friends with Grant Cardone when he was selling cars down south in South Louisiana.
Car.
Yeah, he knew him growing up and was one of his like not his trainer, but like they grew up learning the same shit. So I actually he was like, dude, that's the best money you can spend. Like I know everything that he's gonna tell you, and it's worth it, worth every
Yeah.
penny.
I'm glad that you said that because I've thought about doing some of these things and I just haven't followed through with it because I follow so many different guys. But what I'm starting to learn is I think all of them know something. They're all made different a little way. Like I've heard, like with Dave Ramsey, I've heard plenty of people talk shit about Dave Ramsey. I don't care what
He's
anybody
very
says.
bare bones. I will say steer away from the guys that are encouraging you to buy their course, their product.
Yeah,
You know, if they're trying to sell you something, I think in the social media age, if you're trying to build a good foundation, a good fan base, give sound advice. You build it, they will come.
Mhm.
You know, type deal. But it's just.
and I feel like that's what Ramsey did. Is
I think
Ramsey
I
would,
doubled you.
Yeah.
he
You
would
put out more.
Okay.
he would say, hey,
What? So I had to put up
It's,
one.
it's just me and
Okay.
you now.
Yeah.
here's the snowball, here's how it works, and then if you want to try it out for yourself, and then if you see how that works, because it will, it's a law, right? When it works, then come and buy my course, and let me show you.
Too obvious.
I'm new. I'm sorry. First day on the job.
Keep going.
No, it's true though. But yeah. Buy the course. I don't give a fuck.
I'm just gonna go.
Buy every course you come across.
How much longer do we have in the pod?
We're about to wrap it up because I have a
Yeah.
session at 10 o'clock, so we do need to wrap up.
shit.
Let's grind some
play
poker
this,
then.
Let's play this hand and then let's get out of here.
Team 4.
Say less.
I had something else I wanted to say, but I lost it. All right, what you want to do? You want to bet up?
Did you call?
I matched you
Yeah.
for.
Wait.
How'd you know with 3?
That is not.
You
Wait.
fucking cheater.
Wait, no, this is the
that's the
burns.
burn. That's the burn.
Yeah.
I was like,
These
wait
are
a second.
mine.
God dang.
Check the footage.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I've got 2,
I got
3,
the 3
4.
pair.
Fuck.
I could have invested in Bitcoin.
I should have invested in Bitcoin.
I was chasing the
14.
flush. Look, so let me walk you through that.
I was so what I
let me
see,
walk
I
you
had
through-
the 2, 4, and then I was waiting on a 5. That's why I said damn when this got flipped because I was hoping it was a 5.
So I was chasing the flush initially off flop. So I just needed one more heart. But then the 4 got turned. Then I just needed one more for a straight potentially. So I had a straight flush potential to where the last leg of the river
Fuck yeah, dude.
could have smacked.
Fuck.
Hey, hit him.
So I'll tell you
woulda.
this true story.
Always wins.
Yeah. So back in the day, this was 2013.
You want to do another hand before we get out?
Yeah.
Let's do it,
Yeah.
Please.
2013. I was doing Black Ops 1 or 2. I did both. They were bet lobbies
Mm-hmm.
where you would go
Yep.
online and you could
Black Ops
bet.
1. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they would put you
You
in.
could do it back
They
then.
would put you in
I used to do that.
matchmaking lobbies.
Yep.
Shit.
And here's what's funny. Depending, obviously, there was brackets. You'd work your way up through the brackets, and I was pretty good. I was fucking damn good at Black Ops 2, right?
Quick
And-
scoping? Were you like a sniper type of guy?
No,
were you just-
so I was a
Keeper.
Just a ground and pound type of guy?
I was an MTAR type of guy, bro. Throw that shit on.
Okay.
Iron sight. I'm fucking your life up.
See, when I
Like,
was on Black I was
Okay,
asking because
I
on
was-
Black Ops 2, that's when I got into the quick scoping game, and I was like trick shots, quick scope, and I was saying that because I was gonna say we should bet on us playing quick scopes.
that was the only game Call of Duty that I mastered prestige. Like the
Okay.
only, yeah. And I had like
That's
diamonds, everything. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I love that game. I was friends with a buddy who was deep off in it, bro.
Mhm.
Every bit of money he made from Smoothie King threw right at fucking yeah. And I was like, I love this dude, right? So
Smoothie King
I'm
paychecks.
hanging out with him, and he was deep off in it. Every time he got out of school, he was grinding out.
Yeah.
And here's what's funny, bro. First place in most of the brackets, you get $75. Second place will get $25. Third place will get 1 Bitcoin.
Ooh.
That win.
Really?
Bro.
Was it?
Yeah, like, so it would,
212.
maybe it wasn't 1 full Bitcoin,
13,
but it was like,
13, yeah.
it was like, I think a
Chunk of
quarter of a
cheese.
Bitcoin or something like that. And that was
Nice.
third place,
Yeah.
bro. And you're like, God damn it. You know, like, yeah, bro, you
A
were pissed,
Bitcoin.
right?
Ooh.
It had
Fucking
to be-
trash ass coin.
It had to have been a Black Ops 1. It had to have been Black Ops 1.
Yeah, I think it was Black Ops
Yeah.
1.
So it might have been even later or earlier than that.
Mm.
But we played them for a long time, these lobbies, right? And dude, it was so much fun. Somewhere, bro, there's a wallet. Somewhere.
So you got third place.
I would get third place
Pretty often.
pretty
yeah.
frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a wallet somewhere, and what's crazy, dude, is it was on his computer, and I called him, and we hadn't talked in years. And I was like,
Cause you beat him.
I was like, bro. Well, we just kind of grew apart. We
got
went to a
you.
different school. I think he even moved, right? And anyway,
It was
so,
a shitty joke. That's all it was.
Yeah, like most of them.
Yeah.
Gotta say
Let's wrap this up.
it.
So I called him, and he was like, "Dude, how have you been?" And I was like, "Man, I've been good. You know what I'm calling about?" And he goes, "I can't find it.
No.
I can't find it, man." And I was like, "Have you tried?" He goes, "You have no idea." He goes, "I went." He said, I went where there was even, because he saved it back then on those wallets, you would save it to the hard drive. Like your wallet was like attached to that computer,
Gotcha.
and you would fucking save it onto
Yeah.
that computer.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's like, dude, even if we found it now, it's been mined out. Like, there's no way that a wallet sitting that dormant for that long, it has anything in it.
Mhm.
Anyway, he was like, he assured me that it was gone, but I mean, there was at least between the two of us, we had 3 or 4 Bitcoin, at least, bro.
How's he living though?
How's he living now?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
You gotta be rich.
I've been
nowadays.
keeping an eye on that.
Bro, I've been keeping an eye on
that.
Cabs, brother,
I've been
cabs.
watching those Instagram posts commenting
Yeah,
on
bro,
like,
where's my
yeah.
fucking Bitcoin, bro? That's my money. Like,
did my quarter of a Bitcoin get you that or what?
It hit 100 not too long ago. didn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Shit.
Yeah.
Guys, real quick, I want to take a second to deliver on the promise that I made last week
oh yeah.
that I would bring
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Some of Shanty
Yes.
Man's.
Yes, bro.
Shanty Man's meat sticks, man.
Dude,
Shout
they're
out
the
to
best
Shanty,
out
man.
there, bro. They're the best out there.
They're the best.
And the
dude.
best for the money. Like, I mean, seriously, dirt cheap for what
Yeah.
you're getting on these.
Yeah.
So what you get? Everybody, take one.
Dude,
Everybody.
God, you're gonna be so happy.
I'm thrilled already.
You didn't know you were getting spoiled like this today, did you?
Some Wagyu meat.
Hell yeah.
Mm.
Cheers.
It's
Honest,
probably-
honest reaction.
Go ahead. What you think, man?
Can the white boy take the
He
heat?
needs 2 bites.
3 bites.
We didn't even
God.
ask him if he likes
Oh my
spicy
God.
stuff before we gave it to him.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
there,
and
there
what
it goes.
kind was this? This is spicy.
Hey, it's dog shit.
Hey, don't ruin
I
our.
hate it.
I hated it.
Hot and spicy.
Don't ruin our sponsor. How was it?
That was phenomenal.
Dude, it really is.
Slim Jim, get your game up. You're going out of business soon. What was that brand one more time?
Dude, Shanty Man.
It's so good.
Let me Snapchat this real quick.
Dude, and they're Texas locals? No.
No,
I always
Mississippi.
mess this up.
Oh, even
Mississippi
better, a
locals,
local
bro.
brand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dude,
It was
as a Louisiana native, I love and appreciate spice. That is on the money. Delicious.
Watch it be like rat meat. Like,
I hope not.
it's like,
Tasted good. Maybe rats are a good source of protein.
that was amazing. I'm so
dude,
glad you brought
so
that.
good, bro. God, what a man.
What a treat. What a treat.
Oh my God.
Shanty man will make you a man.
All right, guys.
Yeah, that was good.
Let's play. Let's just hand.
Them bitches are slick.
All those perfect shuffles and then that one.
Yeah.
I
As
just
soon as-
shuffled even more.
As soon as we all put the eyes on him. All right. Yeah, let's get another
Loser,
hand.
loser, winner. Loser, winner.
Hand of attrition right here.
I'm so happy. I got some money lined up in this.
Oh, bro, I'm going all in on this one.
Say chat.
Shit, I'm going all in. You kidding me?
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, you're so fucked. You're so fucked. Oh my God.
Shouldn't talk about yourself that way. Good sir.
All right.
Learn
All
it.
right. I guess it's
Turning
me
and
first, huh?
burning.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Putting 4 of them out there. Put 4 as well.
I mean, if you fold this, you're a pussy. Just saying. Oh, raising it.
Okay.
Oh, raising it 4. Raising it 6. Raising it 8. That's 10. Okay.
Indubitously.
Didn't have to go to school to learn that.
Drop your nuts on them one time.
All right.
I'm so glad to meet somebody in finance who doesn't think it's boring as fuck.
Dude.
I love it.
Glad to meet a fellow nerd.
Yeah, honestly, bro.
How many do we have out?
The outside world may judge us, but we know.
Well, I will say this: the business that
Deservedly so.
the business that I'm in is more relationships with banks themselves, right? So like bank to bank relationships.
Well, I brought a wad for you to keep in the studio.
There we go.
Hell yeah.
Beautiful.
Hell yeah.
Prop them up on my desk.
Thank you.
Glad to take this
You
one.
don't have one.
Thank you, sir.
Bienvenue. Bienvenue.
We went.
Yo, I thought your shit was trademarked, bro. What the fuck's going on here? Turn your head. What the hell?
Oh, that is the logo. That is the logo.
Maybe I wore this on purpose.
Yeah.
I'll stamp it. I'll stamp it for my brother.
All right.
All right, guys. What do we got?
And we're all in.
Okay. All right. All right. All right.
Nice.
I'm giving away my money, but I'm rolling.
It's just not the last hand.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Don't raise it too
Are we
high,
not to be
please.
frivolous?
I only have. I only have so.
Bro,
many
what?
chips. Don't raise it so.
We'll portion
Because
your
I was
pot out.
going. I went hand in hand with him in the 2 rounds.
Bro,
I-
if you don't call him right now, just call his stack.
You'll portion yours out to the side, and depending if you win, it's
There should be whoever runs out of chips. There should be a punishment.
mm.
Please say it's a shot.
Do tell.
Okay, sure. You got to finish that.
Okay, beautiful. Let's go ahead and pour it up. Are you gonna call me up to my chips or what? If you do, I'll go ahead and pour it up because I'm out of chips.
I'm just gonna raise it forward, brother.
That's it. All right. Fucking pussy. All right, great.
Wow.
It's the last fucking hand.
Dude.
No,
What
no,
am
no.
I?
Fuck that. Whatever. No chips. I want that shot.
So what are you in? 1, 2, 3.
He
I've got
raised it.
12.
Yeah.
So we're looking at 24 in total. Come on, finance guy. You got it.
We hate that trope, bro.
We do. It's not flattery. Flattery. Clip. I kind of want to like double everything you have right now.
Well,
Man,
a
just
wise
put-
man once
let's-
told me if I can't do it 3 times, then I shouldn't do it.
I mean, at this point-
all in. Fuck it.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I was about to say, at this point, it's the
Flip
last play of the game.
Flip that.
Let's go all
He's
in.
all in. The boy is all
Let's
in.
go all in. So now we're going to have
Let
3
the chips
people.
fall.
Now we're going to have 3 people with
He
no
fully
chips.
calls us if we go all in.
Hey, it's partial, whatever. Who wins this hand wins it all. How about that?
do
Winner
it.
takes all, boys.
So does the winner get the last of the...
I think the winner gets the last of it.
Beautiful. I'm cool with that.
I'm in.
I did want it, but you got it.
Or maybe the winner could get another. What was that?
We're out of
called?
that. We're out of that. There was only 4 in there.
No, we got more. We got more.
We do? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got more.
Name drop.
We got more, so let me have that shot.
Let's try to get some sponsors. Name drop.
Shanty man, baby.
Shanty Man, that is the best meat snack on the market. If you're not buying Shanty Man, you're an anti-man. Buy it while you can, while supplies last.
That
Boom.
is financial advice.
That is.
That is strict financial advice. Invest now or be left in the dust winds.
Shanty
Yeah.
Man
To
makes
the moon! To the moon!
Shanty Man makes you a manly man. Let's go, baby.
No, that
Let's
that
go.
was delicious.
It's so good. I really want to win.
All right, guys, we're
Man, I'm
all
all
in.
in.
We're all in.
Are we all
Let's go ahead and flip that last
You wanna
one.
flip it?
Flip it.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Got a pair of 6s.
Fuck. You're such a dick. I have a pair of 6s.
Oh, with the queen to beat you.
I have whatever I have.
Nothing.
I don't have
Nothing.
shit, dude.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
What? Whoa.
1. So our 6s play. That's 2. 3. You bitch. All right, you're right. You're right.
Well, you just ran the table on us. All right.
Man, wow.
It was a pleasure.
Did
What
you
was
lose
the
a single game? You won all of them.
The cards were lucky in my
The
favor.
cards were in your favor. Yeah.
Hey, brother, hey, as a first time player, a lot of it is luck, a lot of it is attrition, but majority luck.
Yeah.
You know, it's
For sure. I
wherever
mean,
the cards are falling.
The cards that get. That's just like we play Uno all the time.
Remember what my dad said? last
Okay,
week?
okay,
I
so
whipped in
you,
a chair.
I think you've answered my question. On Red Dead Redemption, you're just automatically like 1,000 luck. I don't think, as a seasoned poker player, I don't think I've ever lost more than 2 hands at like a.
They got to
20
keep you interested.
Yeah, I mean, I run the
I've always-
blackjack. They have blackjack in there. They have poker, and I run those tables in there. But it's easy because you just bluff and you just raise it up, and people
You
just start
bully 'em,
falling
yeah,
out.
yeah,
You
yeah.
bully them,
Okay.
and it works.
Pussy
And
ass
if you
ass.
stay at
He
the
lied. He knew how to play the
if
entire
you
time.
if you stay
Look at this guy.
But look,
Still lost.
if you stay at the table long enough, they're gonna fall out. That's the thing about the video games is like new people don't start joining. It's like because you're playing against CPU, so after all of them fall out, it's like if it's you and one person at the table, nobody else is joining.
Sly.
But my bad.
Sly is keeping his composure as a true professional.
But,
I'm not going to crash out. I'm not going to
But
crash
no,
out.
just
That's why
like
he's gonna
I
make
went,
it in
I went. Last story, real quick. I went to my girlfriend's family's house for Christmas in the evening, and her stepdad wanted to play Uno against me. He was like, "You think you're good at Uno?" And I was like, "Sure." He was like, "Let's play some Uno."
Uno.
You think you're good? And you know, he's just one of those. He's just like, "I'm gonna beat you." Like, you know, just little casual shit talking, all that. I'm like, dude, it's fucking Uno, bro. Like, literally.
What are we doing?
Your whole thing is based off of what you get. If you don't know how to play that shit, you're fucked. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's such a simple game. It's what you get. Your cards are literally, it's luck. So, yeah, it is what it is.
You feel the same thing
Hey,
about,
look,
this?
boys, I just want to say it's been an
No, I don't-
absolute
Oh, it's
honor
great.
and privilege. Thank y'all so much for having me on.
Dude,
I've had an absolute blast tonight. Thank y'all for the time and the viewership, you know, because that's what's most important right there. And thank y'all for watching. Honestly.
I would like to thank you as well. This was our first podcast on any type of financial stuff. So it was a very good diversion.
We had some
from-
yin and yang right here with my brother.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. And
For
and we knew that would happen. I knew bringing on a financial guy, you know, I knew you guys were gonna, just like with me and the music, we click, and then he's like, ah, fuck music, man, shut the fuck up.
We're the stereotype.
Yeah,
Do
no.
we instantly bro out?
No,
Maybe.
as soon
Fucking
as
frat
he
guys.
texted the group, it was like, guys, I want to talk finance one day, and I was like, perfect.
No,
I think I
no,
have
no,
that.
no, 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 no. Rewind.
Well-
because his actual response.
Okay, so my actual
was,
response was, okay, we can do that as long as we don't say that we're giving financial
No,
advice.
no, 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 no,
That is
no.
true.
So before that,
It's important too.
but yes, that is important. But yeah, before that,
copyrights.
before that, he was like, dog, I don't know shit about finance. And I responded with the
That's
same
it,
thing.
yeah.
I was like, bro, me neither. But that's why I want to talk about it. I just want to talk about fucking whatever. Like, whether it's our credit scores, whether, not even saying our credit, but how do you work on credit? You know, I just wanted to have an episode where we talk about things where people, it's not financial advice, but if they so choose to take little bits and pieces, it's just like, hey, you know, that's something I never thought of.
Where's
you
your
know.
point? You could choose to doom scroll, or you could choose to take action.
Exactly,
It's-
yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
It
don't be
is
like
how
me.
prevalent in your life. How much action you want to take heed to.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
all
this
it
is
is.
this is something we all deal with is finances. Like that's,
Yeah.
we all have to deal with finances,
Like it or not.
whether you're
It's the
in
most
finances
important
or
thing
not.
of life, unfortunately. You
Right.
know?
So I thought it would be good, and I think it turned out great. I
Likewise,
love
brother.
everything. I love how you brought the little slide sheets that you
So
brought as
glad you
well.
probably nerded out a little bit, but
No, that's perfect.
No, no,
That
no,
was
no.
beautiful.
This is what you do.
this
Like,
was a joy to me. I
No,
promise.
that's what you do, and I love people who nerd out on things. Like
Oh, yeah.
nerd out on what you do, because for a podcast, that's perfect. We're here to give us some shit. You know, talk
Yeah.
about something that we
Yeah.
can talk about and engage with you, and not be like everybody else. So this
Well,
was.
can I turn the tables real quick?
Go
I'm
ahead.
proud of you. You are providing a studio, a hot spot for all the up and coming artists of Shreveport, Bossier, Louisiana, and the outgoing areas. So, all these viewers, if the next up and coming rapper comes from this area, it's probably from the studio.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. Don't get it confused.
Exactly.
It's from my man right here. He's had a plan the entire time. He's got it. He's got it. And it's coming very soon to a studio, to a Spotify, Apple Music near you.
Yeah,
Boom.
the funny
You're not coming back on the show, bro. I don't know where.
I had to make my plea. They fed me whiskey, Slim Jims.
Fucking
I-
beautiful, man.
I'm really, you know, I'm really appreciative to be able to bring on people, and I think that's what makes us, as a group, and as a show. I have fun with it because I genuinely don't know the people that are going to be coming on.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
we always have something new, and hopefully our audience appreciates that too. Is where we bring on something new each week that you don't know what's really gonna, like, what the hell am I gonna tune into this week? You know, is
Right.
it gonna be relationship advice from, you know, is it gonna be having somebody's dad on who's on the podcast telling
Yeah.
funny ass jokes or
Yeah.
funny ass stories? Is it gonna be financial advice? It's
Which is not financial advice. Keep going.
Very good. Very
exactly.
good.
So, you know, I find that to be the thing that I watch and want to engage in is always going to be something that it's something I didn't know. And I
Yeah.
think it's very brave of you to be like, hey, I don't know that. I'm going to jump into that. Like, I want
yeah.
I want somebody to tell me something, because everybody wants to hear their own things they already know, their own echo chamber.
Eco chain, yep.
You
Yeah.
know, and that you don't get any better in life when you
Right.
do that, you know. So
Yeah.
to our audience, I hope if you tuned in this long, thank you so much. We love you. We appreciate it. We've been seeing the support on all of our socials, on our Instagram, on our TikToks, everything. And we want to thank you personally.
Yeah.
Thank you to our guests for coming on today. We
You're
hope to have
having
you
me.
on again.
Yeah, thank you so
Um,
much, Ed.
Privilege.
Really.
You know what it feels like to be a good one. To be a good one. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Peace out.